All right, gentlemen, with this one right here, we are looking at Darktide, and we are going to be talking about our Ogryn shield build here. So the main thing about this build is it is really only one in the game that you can do Havoc and, the hardest difficulties and really not have great movement. So, it really lends a hand if you don't have great movement in the game. It is very important in Darktide, a very important aspect of it. But this build actually builds you to where you don't have to have fantastic movement, and you could really help out your team a lot. So the main thing we're sacrificing is we're not going to do a ton of damage in this build, and it's not really what we want to do. What we want to do is we want to grab all the aggro on the map, everything around us, stagger as much as we can, and really grab the attention away from our teammates so they can really do the bulk of the damage, and you could really sit there and tank anything in the game with the shield. So it is just a very, very nice setup, and I really like this. I really like this build overall on the Ogryn. I feel like this suits the class because this is exactly what he should be. He should be the tank, and he should be able to grab as much aggro and really deal with any enemies that are throughout the missions. So very, very strong build right here. It's a lot of fun to play because it's completely different than most every other build in Darktide. So we're going to go over our class talents, we're going to go over our slab shield, and then we will also talk about our curios and some different options that you have with those. And that is right where we'll start actually. So obviously you're going to want, I'm recommending you take the block efficiency and the stamina regeneration. Both of these are very nice. And then I'm always going max toughness on my blessings. Now, the one I would say that you could switch off, and depending on what you want or what do you think will suit your playstyle best, is going to be the 5% max health. So if you do drop this 5% max health off all three of your curios, you're going to lose 40 hit points. So just know that up front. So the two that I'm recommending you take instead of that, if you want to drop that, is going to be either toughness regen or max toughness. So the toughness regen is obviously going to give you a 90% toughness regen, and then your max toughness will give you 20 more toughness. So that's why I kind of went with hit points, because I'm grabbing 40 hit points over the 20 toughness, and I felt like it was a good trade-off, especially since our toughness is over 200, and that's really what I was looking for here. So those are kind of some options. You can go with the curios, and just anything that's really not, or anything that's causing you problems in the game. Maybe you're getting hit by sniper shots or something. You really shouldn't because you're shield, but whatever is causing you the most trouble, you can drop that 5% max health and kind of lean towards whatever you think is going to help you throughout your missions there. All right, let's take a deeper dive into our talents here. So when it comes to these first four talents, I'm taking this on nearly every build. These are very, very good talents. You got heavyweight, you have smash 'em, and then you have the best defense, and then obviously you have to take this toughness boost, which you want to take every toughness boost you can find. You're going to want to grab whatever nade you think is going to best suit you. For me, it is the big friendly rock, because I like to have it reload every 40 seconds or whatever it is. And then you're going more toughness, damage reduction. You're going enemies damaged by your melee attacks take 15% more damage, just to add some kind of damage onto our hits here. And then we have a bunch of damage resistant ones right here, and we're going with our toughness reduction and our toughness boost here. Yeah, for sure you want Loyal Protector. So Loyal Protector is one of your main perks or abilities for this build right here. You're going to want to grab aggro as much as possible, because that is your main focus. That is the way you're helping out your group. You're grabbing aggro and you're really letting them deal out all of the damage. And then you want go again, because staggering enemy will replenish 2.5% cooldown, and this will constantly keep Loyal Protector up, meaning that you can constantly just tank more because your toughness is going to refill up that much faster. So I highly recommend taking go again. I did run valuable distraction for a while. Obviously the 25 base is nice, but with this right here, you get this so often, it really helps with your survivability. And then we're going to go slam. We're going to take strike true only because we want this stacks of bleed onto our hits. And then we're going with our 4 stacks of brittleness per push. Now this is really helping out the team. You're going to be pushing all the time, and it's just going to brittle up the enemies for your teammates as well. And then we have simple-minded. This one right here is actually the one that you can switch off depending on what you want. So if you're looking to lose a perk here on this tree that we got set up, you would get rid of the corruption resistance, and you would go for whatever you think is going to help your build out more. For me, I like the corruption resistance. Then we are going with our toughness boost here. We're going with our melee damage boost. and we're going over here because we really want this damage resistance per bleeding enemy. As I said, we're going to be adding bleed, and the odds are a lot of your teammates are actually adding bleed too, so this should always be up. And then we also want our 2.5% attack speed on chained hits, just to keep everything going smoothly, adding more bleed, adding more stagger, and all of those things. And then this is really all just setting up our shield right here. So we're going to have blocking and pushing enemies, taunt them, and then we have our pushes have our 250% extra stagger, and then our stagger will also give us a 15% melee increase. So, and then feel no pain. Must take for this one because you're going to want that toughness replenishment of 25% when you're all stacked up with this. And then as well as we have grants 2.5% toughness replenishment per stack. So it's just a huge amount of toughness that you're gaining with every hit. And then we have pushing enemies restores 1 stack of feel no pain. So this is just going to keep you at 10 stacks constantly. You're constantly pushing and trying to knock back and stagger everything around you. As I said before, to really lend hand to your team doing a massive amount of damage. And Pain Outburst, you're really not going to take this because with this, you're always going to be above 5 stacks. It's very easy to stay at 5 stacks, and that's really what you're looking for. Just a quick look at our slab shield here. You can really set this up how you please. If you don't feel like you're doing enough damage, then go for a higher damage version. For me, I'm really looking to just grab as much defense as I can, and then for sure, if you're going to sacrifice something here for damage, sacrifice like penetration or defense, do not sacrifice cleave or crowd control. You're going to want those two very high. They're very important on the weapon, and they just help out a lot. So for the perks we're going to go with, you're going to go with 2 stamina, and then you're going to go with 20% block efficiency. You're going to have huge block efficiency on this weapon. It's going to be very nice, and you'll find out. And then we have last guard here, and what we're really looking for is the negative 30% block cost on last guard, and then we want confident strike to give us another 8% toughness on chained hit.
If I'm dead, back off! Take shelter! You can't take it! Wait for bombs! Out of my Domination is close!
Kill her, big man!
You saw that! Terminate the gunner! The only answer to this profane life! Can't shoot! Ammo! 'Cause 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 'c
Stupid rats took wrong turn.
Curio machine don't develop. Don't stray.
Grenade!